we fucking live? I don't know if I'm live right now. I think we're live. Just doing this live. I'm in a live trade right now. Bought in over here. It's kind of a risky trade. 101,971. Kind of cost me a lot. I wasn't paying attention to the funding fees. Plus, I already reduced my bet because I wasn't too sure where it was going. But the more I look at this, the more I see the bottom here. Seeing a nice move from Bitcoin right now. We got a low. We had like tweezer bottoms, swing failure pattern, starting to get some momentum back up and going back up. Plus, there's this huge fair value gap up here. So my thought process here is that we're going to come up, sweep some of this liquidity, and then maybe come back down. The other thing we're watching here is this golden pocket on the retracement, plus a fair value gap down here. So a couple of reasons why it could come down. Currently at a point of control. I know this chart looks a little bit messy right now. I'm going to try and clean it up. We got the value area low right here, which Bitcoin seems to be, respecting for the moment. Previous day low, came down, swept any liquidity here. Let's see if I can make that a little bit bigger. Make that a little bit, so I made that a little bit bigger, but came down, swept that, wick back in, closed above, a little bit of reversal, nice bullish candle there, and right now it's at this daily point of control. A previous daily point of control, it's obviously wiped that out, but it is something to note. Like, that's where Bitcoin's trying to find support and resistance right now. So we get above this point of control at 102, roughly 102. 102 and change, 102.092. We got the 21-day moving average coming down. If we can get a close above that, we might get some help. Bitcoin's just struggling right now. It's down here trying to find its low, trying to figure out which way it's going. Volume super low Saturday morning, super low. We got 1.8 thousand Bitcoin right now, and the daily average volume for past 30 days is almost 12,000. So volume is very low. Very low. Now, yesterday I made a terrible trade. I traded off like just emotion, just in being impulsive, and I grabbed a trade right here. I grabbed a long right here after that drop down. I forget where it was, but it was somewhere here. And then of course it just like dwindled its way down, and I took a loss, and then it came back up. I think I went to bed. I said, you know what, I'll just wait, get up in the morning and see what happens. And I think it came up a little bit and then came back down, and I kind of cut out of the trade here because I wanted to see what was going on. It came down and swept, and now we're just kind of playing around in this range. So I got back into the long, once I saw it get some stability, started to see some more things that were going our way. I started to turn back onto Bitcoin right now. I think in the hourly I was seeing some good things. The money flow is curling back up. Stochastics are a little high right now. MACD cross curving up. Like I said, swing failure pattern here on the hourly. Now I look at the tweezer bottom over here. It's also a sign of a reversal. So that's what we're looking at right now. For the immediate short term, I'm thinking, we should just come up and sweep some liquidity in here. Grab that fair value gap. 30-minute money flow still just cranking up here. This 30 minutes is saving the day right now, I'm telling you, and these stokes are high. So always looking for something in the charts. Like yesterday when I grabbed the trade over here, I kept looking at the charts and I'm like, oh, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. All the indicators were just pointing down. And then like I said, finally I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it. If it comes down here, I had another purchase to grab in the golden pocket, which I don't recommend that you do. I think that's a terrible way to go, but I had to make the decision yesterday. I was looking at everything and I was like, this would be a good base for it to fall right now. I just see a lot of good for this area. So I'm just seeing if we can pull up right now. Like, I'm just looking for a little bit of a wave up and then back down, and we'll see what's going on. Well, only time will tell. So that's why we're here in this live trade. But just to look at the levels a little bit, I mean, Bitcoin's just kind of like flopping in these points right now. You know, we got a value over the larger area, we got a value area low coming in here. Shorter term value area low right there. And then in the local area, we have, you know, the levels there as well. So, I mean, right now we got one, two, three levels of resistance that we really got to get through. I mean, this is the big one right here where it's at right now, 102 and some change. That's the big one. If we can get up there and close up there, show some strength, get above this yellow line, get above 102.2, you know, these are levels. I mean, and then once we get above 102.5, then I think we're gone. You know, according to this chart. But we got the 21 coming down. This is on the 30-minute, 21 coming down. And so now let's look to the shorter time frames, the smaller time frames. And as I'm doing all this, I mean, shout out to Frankie Candles, shout out to the Crypto Lifer, and shout out to Jason Casper. These three guys are the ones that I basically get my education from. I learn a lot from them. They all have their own special thing, and you can get a lot from all of them. And right now, I'm just going through the motions. This is everything that I've been taught by them. And, you know, this is not financial advice. This is just what I see, how I'm calling the charts as I learn and grow. I'm just trying to... Number one, you know, I'm helping myself right now by talking all this out. I mean, I spend so much time in front of the charts right now. I'm absolutely obsessed with learning crypto, learning trading, learning these charts. And instead of just talking to myself, I'm like, you know what? Let's turn the video on. Let's get the camera rolling. Let's get in here. I know my hair looks kind of funky right now. I gave myself a home haircut the other day, and this is just like a little bit of bedhead. I still haven't like done anything with my hair or anything. I just, you know, got up, had some coffee, looked at the charts, did some workout, did some push-ups, did some planks and stuff like that. So now I'm just in the charts. I know I got to get some music going because I got the music in my headphones, but I don't have the music streaming on here because I got to get, I don't know, I tried doing it with OBS, but I think I have to get an app, and I'm just a little hesitant to put any apps on my computer right now. But like I said, Bitcoin... Back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's struggling. We're getting a little curve on the money flow. We're on the 15-minute. I've been waiting for this 15-minute money flow to start turning up. It was just been so dead. Everything else has been pointing up. Like if we look at the 30-minute, and then that thing's screaming to the top. The 1 hour is getting the curl, but this 15-minute has just been like sitting around being all limp. And then finally, it's turning up. So we'll see what happens here. I've been saying it's all about this 15-minute, but the Stoke's starting to turn over. So... Well, let's go down a little bit smaller, right? This is Crypto Lifer work right here. We're going through the motions. We're checking every indicator. We're checking every time frame. We're just trying to get a read on what's happening. That guy's an animal, man, showing up every day, doing streams, live streams every single day, for over 1,000. I don't know if he's over. I know he's over 1,000. I don't know if he's over 1,500 days in a row of live streams. Plus, he does multiple live streams sometimes, like especially on the weekend. He's morning and night, and he's dedicated. So shout out to the Crypto Lifer. And it's like he said, it's like everybody I watch that's so successful online, like they built it from the bottom, but they just showed up every day. And I think that's something I've always struggled with in my life. I think it weighs over me because I've given up a lot of times and on things. But I just know this whole thing about consistency is showing up every day, even if you suck. Like I wanted to come on here, I was like, oh, my hair looks crazy, and I'm like, oh, everything's not perfect. But I'm like, you know what? I just want them to start showing up, and then I'm like listening to my mentors and telling me like, just keep showing up every day. If you keep up showing up every day, even if the day's not great, but you showed up, it just like builds strength, and you build and build and build and build, and just builds confidence, and you just want to do it more and more and more. And so like definitely want to say shout out to Crypto Lifer and all the other mentors that have taught me that. And I don't know, one day, maybe if I keep showing up consistently enough, maybe one day I'll have a big show and I'll have a big channel, big following, people I can help. So yeah. Yeah, back to Bitcoin. Fighting this level. But I think once we get above this 102 level, once we get above this 102, come on, I can feel it. Everything I'm looking at right now, it's like the 1 minute money flow. It's kind of scooping MACD up here. We're losing a little bit momentum. What do we got? We got any div? Not really seeing anything. That's okay. Higher low, lower low. First lower low. And this momentum swing on the money flow in the 1 minute. We're fighting these levels. We're above the 200 EMA. on the 1 minute, which is a good sign. We're getting this curl right now. It could spike right here. I mean, it does happen. This is kind of like that golden cross thing. I'd rather see it on a higher time frame, but Crypto Lifer will tell you this. It's like when this white line crosses that yellow line, once the 21 crosses the 200 on the 1 minute, he's like, we should get a little pump. So we'll see what happens here. It's gonna have to break up above this level. Could get a little bit. And the one I've been waiting for all day is this MFR over here, this 200 on the 5 minute. When are we gonna catch up to that? I think once we catch up to that guy, then we're gonna pump. Shout out Crypto Lifer. We're going to check out a couple other coins here in a little bit. I'm going to check out, I'll go down the list here. We'll check out Trump coin. Trump coin's not really much to look at right now. It keeps fading. It's fading, but everything went down. Ethereum had a breakout retest. Is retesting right now. No Siri. Ethereum's having a breakout retest right now. Why would you stop doing that? Solana we can look at. Like Solana's taking a little dip, but I think I saw a lower level on Solana. XRP's been kind of like the same level for a while. AVAX is like kind of like my pick right now. I think AVAX is probably like at the most bargain you can get right now, but it's not. I don't know if it's at its bottom, so it could still go down a little bit more. I'm in a trade on AVAX right now. I like where it's at, so I started opening up a trade, but low leverage. It's just like a 2x. It's not much. Same thing with, I'm trying to build a position on Link. I don't really like my purchase spot right now, but I'm in a trade on Link. So in Caspa, I started mining Caspa. I bought a small miner on Caspa, but then it's just like it keeps, it keeps halving like almost every month. So that's the thing about Caspa. So I got a little bit with it. I mined about, I don't even know, it was like 1,800 of them or something like that. So I mean, if Caspa goes up to $1, it's cool, but right now it really wasn't worth it doing the mining. But I hold the Caspa and I started trading Caspa. I'm trading Caspa on Margex and I'm doing perpetual. So as I win in the trade, I win more Caspa. So if I'm in a long, as the value goes up, the more money I earn if you get it. And that's kind of what I do with all my trades. I'm kind of like in that with Bitcoin. I traded on Phemex. Phemex can be kind of high on fees, but I can actually trade Bitcoin with my Caspa on Margex, which is kind of crazy. But I might start doing more of that. I noticed that on Margex their fluctuation in price is more volatile. On Phemex, it's a little lagging and it's a little suspect sometimes. I gotta tell you that. So I think with the lower leverage on Phemex, I don't mind the delay in the price action. Because it's more of a long-term hold, right? And that's what I'm doing with AVAX. I'll actually show you right now, since I'm talking about it. See, I'm watching this Bitcoin trade because it's like right at that level. We got to watch it. I'll come back. But AVAX I really love right now, so I'm going to zoom out on AVAX. Let's go to the daily. Just give me a sec here. AVAX, and not to mention that AVAX is a U.S.-based cryptocurrency, so it might probably be good for people to invest in AVAX, in a cryptocurrency like AVAX, because if it's true that we're not going to have any capital gains tax on cryptocurrency for U.S.-based cryptocurrency companies or headquarters, then a lot of people would invest in those, like AVAX, Chainlink, XRP, Solana. There's a lot of them, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm just calling the Trump effect, all right? It's all in the Trump effect. Now, I know this chart might look a little crazy, and I'll clean this up in a minute. So let me turn off the ribbons. That's number one. Then we can kind of see the levels a little bit better. I'll turn off the Lux algo just to clear those. This yellow box is a golden pocket, so that's a good level right there to catch. We got a value area low right here, this blue line, another area of confluence. Okay, a decent high volume node here, The trouble is we got to get up past this yellow point of control over the larger macro area, right? Now, the thing of caution is this is that with these levels right here, AVAX is a little bit vulnerable. It came down below the POC from the value area high, right? So we deviated above the value area high, came back down, we're testing the POC. Here we are. AVAX could actually dump down to here. And now that I look at it, actually, I was kind of like leaving that out is really what I was doing. And it's kind of at a critical moment right here. And it's funny how these trades work, are. There's a good probability that we come all the way down here before we bounce back up, come back up to the top of the range. But we're also on this. If my box is correct, this should be a golden pocket for the Fibonacci retracement from the swing low to the swing high, right? Yeah, so you can see the 618 and the 65. So that's the golden pocket. So we kind of bounced in that area. We didn't go all the way down to the 718. So we didn't come all the way down in the 718, which is fine. But actually, I think if we come down here, just because of this gap in the volume profile, if we come down any further, we can look to this level for a bounce, which I already had an alert there. For a bounce, maybe not all the way down. So it's still not out of the cards. But you can also see this downtrend. Let me get rid of the Fibonacci. So this downward trend line, the white line, right, we can adjust this a little bit if we needed to. Just trying to get a lot of touches in there. It kind of gives a better guideline. And I mean, the trend line is just a guideline. It can deviate up and down. So, but we need to break through like this area right here. I'm just going to draw a little circle around it because that's going to be a critical area right here. So whatever AVAX does here will kind of determine which direction we're going. If we don't break up above this thick yellow line, this point of control, break out of this downward trend, then I mean that's the road to higher prices. Then we'd have to break through this area, the daily point of control and a weekly point of control. But I think once we get above, probability is looking pretty good that we do break through. And then we come up to 49 and then higher. We're going to test out the value area high and go higher. So, I mean, I just like AVAX. This is a good spot right here. Now, don't forget, we could bust out and come lower and I don't know, maybe just sweep, grab some liquidity, take out some longs before it makes its way back up. So you never know. Nice curve. This is on the daily. Nice curve in the money flow. Stochastic's pointing up. It's kind of, we got a little divergence here. So, a little bullish div. Lower low. I mean, higher low. And then over here, we go to a lower low. So I like it. For me, that's a lot of good space. That's a lot of good ones right there. And I already doubled, put more on my AVAX trade. So I'm watching this level, just kind of see what happens. But I like it for risk to reward ratio. That's a good one. It's not a reckless trade. It's not, you have a lot going for you. And speaking of reckless trades, I got to go back to my Bitcoin trade. So, something like that, but you could always watch out for the sweep there. So, and that's almost a 4-to-1. It's all right. What's Bitcoin doing? Still holding that level, 102. Just playing around with our emotions, man. Oh, this is on the daily. let me just zoom in real quick, and then I want to talk about the monthly. We just had the monthly close. I'll check out the chat in a minute. I don't even know how to check the chat, honestly. I'm supposed to have like a window that shows up with OBS Studio, but it doesn't show up. So I'm going to dig into that in just a minute. Or if you're watching this on rerun, just put any questions you might have in the comments. All right, I respond. So like I said, we're just bouncing off these levels right now, trying to figure out. Bitcoin just wants to figure out what it's doing. 15 still just being annoying. So that's why I'm watching this trade and just trying to see what's going on here. Kind of a critical level. Nice curl there. This is the 5-minute money flow. A little bit of a curl. There was some bull div right there. What's the 1 minute telling us? Oh, let's get our. I already know. I'm going to turn on these moving averages. I know it's just going to be like. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to point at this. It's going to be like in this tight area. Still trying to figure out what the heck it's doing. I knew it. Just playing games. Here we go. We're going to drop. We're dropping below, but you never know. I mean, it's been bouncing off this level. Just been bouncing there. Just being annoying right now. We had this big candle here. This is only on the 1 minute, so not crazy, but money flow pointing down. Spiked up. Stochastics. That's not good. A little bit of bullish div right there. Tiny bit. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's on the 1 minute time frame, but hey, it's still 1 minute. Still bull div. Still bull div. All right, we could get a nice curl. Stochastics could turn. Money flow could turn. Getting a little pump here. Getting a little pump. I wish you could hear my headphones right now. The Pump It Up song's playing. Look at that choppy on the 5 minute. That's just ridiculous. Can the 1 minute turn it up? Let's turn this money flow up. Let's turn it all. Let's turn all these indicators. Curl up. Curl up. Let's go 1 minute. And then the big thing I'm waiting for is like, let's get a pump up. Let's get a pump up. Let's go over the smooth and over the 200. And we're gone. And we're gone. Coming from Sammy Cup and Handy, Crypto Lifer. That's one of his moves. So that's what we're watching right now. I mean, this is risky business right now. I do kind of like the lower term. I mean, the lower leverage trades, and I don't know. You don't have to have a hard tack all the time. You can just kind of like sit back and go about your life while you see what your trade does and let it develop. A lot more play, a lot more swing. Which is something to think about in your in your risk management. It's like, if I'm going to do a high risk trade like this, probably should have done a lower leverage play, right? It's more of a lower leverage play. Like if I'm going to do higher leverage, it's more on the scalping. And this is kind of a big play here. You know what I mean? I mean, ultimately, what are we looking for? I mean, I could just tell by looking at it that I was like, oh, this is a nice high leverage play. I mean, high reward play. 6 to 1. I don't really want, I try to avoid. I keep a tight stop loss. I'd rather indicators say, right? I want to see how low it goes a lot of times. Sometimes I'll jump right back in, or I'll wait until the price, hits that level, hits that 200, goes over that 200, and I'm like, oh, FOMO in, and then hopefully ride that to the top. I mean, I just think you have a better option. It's better. It's just a better play. Or I could keep trying to buy in at each level, and hopefully I don't get swept out. I mean, maybe I will take my own advice and just do a lower leverage play, because right now I'm at 25x. Bring it down to a 10. Take the play, maybe add more to if it comes down, and then you have to watch for that sweep. You have to watch for that sweep of liquidity. All the long positions that are opened up right here. How much is that price going to tank down before it jumps up? And like I said, I don't want to ride this down all the way to the golden pocket, right? So that's not what I want to do. So you know, 101, I want to keep it nice and tight here. That gives me a 13 to 1 ratio. You know, and I'll take profit along the way, but you know, this is the starting bet. And I've already reduced the amount that I have in just because I was like, oh, it was getting a little choppy for me. I was like, you know, let me reduce my bet. Let me take a little leverage, you know, reduce my risk. So that's what's going on there. Let me just check to see what's going on over here. Error, you need to change video resolution to current resolution, which is not supported for this configuration. The expected video resolution, open widget. I mean, is this thing actually going? It is live. Okay, we're live. Oh, okay, there we go. Viewer activity. No new super chats or members yet. Okay. Stream health. It says error. So I gotta change my output settings, I think, on OBS. So the current resolution is, which is not supported for this configuration, the expected video resolution error. You need to change the video resolution. Your current resolution, which is not supported on this configuration. Okay. Settings. Stream. Huh. Ignore stream service setting. No. Output. Enable output. Let me see video. Okay, so how do I change that then? So how do I change that? Output, video bitrate. Okay, your stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you use a stream bitrate of 13,005 of 13,000. Wait, video bitrate 13,500. I don't know. 13,500 bitrate? Is that too much? Warning, recordings cannot be paused if the recording quality is set to same as stream. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm trying. I can't change the resolution. Whatever there. Okay. Output type. No. Cancel that. What's this? Okay, so I can see the chat there, right? What's Bitcoin doing? Trend, let's go. Stoke bounced off the 50, turning up. We got a nice little curl up here on the MACD. We're above the 21. We're above the 50 on the 15-minute. Looking good, looking good. No chats? Anybody here? I need some music for the stream at least. I don't know. It's telling me my resolution's bad, but I don't really care. I'll try to figure that out later. I think I'll have to plug into the modem. What do we got? What do we got? We got engage with your audience. Start a poll. BTC up or down from 102 102K. Nope. What am I doing? That's what I want. Start the poll. Nobody here. Chat rate 1. Views 1. Is this thing even going? It says live for 34 minutes. But the quality's probably not good. Shit, nobody's here. Trade slightly in the profit. Probably not even close to break even. 102.092. Yeah, just above break even. Blah. And it's probably just going to come back down here. What's the 30 doing? 30 was doing good before. The 1 hour. 1 hour still curling up. What happened on the 30? Oh, that money flow. Topping out, man. That thing was screaming. How's our MACD? MACD. I think the 30's done for us. Can we find something else? Stokes on the 1 hour still look good. We got a cross down here coming up. Momentum's still coming up. It's not in the, doesn't have the steepness that we would like to see. You know, it's just barely doing anything. But that money flow could save us. Stochastic's pointing up. Higher time frame. Not looking for much. Not seeing too much here. Just fighting down here. Just fighting. Yeah, I can get rid of that one. I mean, potentially this one, we could take this one all the way up. Potentially. So what's that? That's a 19-to-1 ratio. I mean, may take a little bit. I like that trade. I like zooming out. But we gotta hold 101.891. 101.891. We gotta hold that level. This value area low. Now we could still come down and grab some of this liquidity down here from this wick, but like I said, if we hold this level right here, let's go. And then honestly, I'm just this guy doesn't even need to be here. This is pretty much it. You know, once we get above, I mean, look at that range right there. It's a beautiful range, you know. I'll find somewhere to take my first take profit if it comes up, you know, obviously, if we come up. Looking at the 4 hour right now, though. And we're coming up. You know, we still got a good slope. You know, here's our trend line down here. So, and then here's our golden pocket. So, I mean, what I want to happen is something like this. You know, coming up. Come up. Maybe hit this. I'd be happy with that range. My line's not really letting go. Then maybe something down like this, hit that golden pocket, maybe somewhere in the 718, and then we start to make our way back up. Bust up here, ring it, and then maybe up and through. Boom, boom, boom. Something like that. Doesn't seem out of the question. That's what I'd like to see. That puts us at the end of February at 111. But to tell you the truth, one thing I wanted to point out, this is the monthly chart, okay? We're looking, I don't want to draw anything on there. Why is the brush the only thing that stays on? Like everything else only gives you once. This is the monthly chart, what we're looking at right here. So that was January, just closed yesterday. And it's a bullish chart. Bullish candle, paused out. We flagged, came up. Now we're testing the highs right now. We want to, this month in February, we want to get above last month's high of 109. We like to see a close above. That would be very bullish for Bitcoin. But if we go back to February of last bull run, I was pointing this out to my friend the other day. So this one right here, this candle right here is our February candle. So as you can see, and these candles are almost exactly the same, except the only difference is this January candle closed red and this one closed green. But if you, I don't know, I don't want to make any speculation on that, but they just look very similar, just a different color. And but then in February, if we take the measured move on this, from the point where it opens to its top, right? Let's do that one first. That's a 78, 77% gain in the month of February. But it also came down a bunch, right? So it went up 78%, and then it also came down, 22%, and then it closed the month, it closed a month roughly 38% up, right? So 38% up from the open and the close. So if we went, let's do it 38%. Let's take it down. Let's do a 20%. All right. Diminishing returns, law of diminishing returns. So here's where we closed. And, let's do a 20%. And which I think is on the low side, whatever right there. 123. So 123, it's kind of in confluence with our cup and handle. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that this month. The bull run, when February happened, we saw I was trying to measure out okay, so I see a little dip there, right? Right here. So, it was like a 2.5% dip before it took off, right? So, and the other thing I was saying too, on that February candle, we closed above the wick, which is huge. So, this February, I think we kind of expect the same thing. So, we should see a close above 109 throughout the month. I don't know if that happens right at the last minute or, it takes all month or what have you. But so far, what did we experience yesterday on our dip? So line up with that green line. All right. 1% dip. So, and if we went, let's go to the weekly. That's all I wanted to point out right there. I wanted to see where we were at. Looks like I have an alert there for something in the box. So kind of a double top though on the weekly. Kind of a double top here on the weekly, right? Boom, boom. This is a swing failure pattern. So we already dipped down, like I said, 1%. Um, I'm looking for a spot where we're going to dip down to. Like, where do we stop? I mean, we stopped right here, which is a strong level. We didn't, so far this week, we've respected this level right here. So that's a good sign. If this, I mean, between today and tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, if we close green here, I mean, ultimately, I would like to see this green above, that wick. But if I mean, best case scenario, we close this green. If it closes red doji just like the way it is right now, I would definitely expect more downturn, more downturn. Where to? I don't know. Let's go to the daily. What is Bitcoin at right now? 1021. So funny, man. We got a nice W pattern, which may have already played out, and then that was like a head and shoulders as well, inverted. And then it kind of played out when it hit this wick, but then came back down. So, man, just real choppy for Bitcoin, you know. And we're just until we break out. Honestly, I think we're just gonna chop until we break out, and until I don't think we're gonna break out until the United States, talks about what they're doing, like openly says this is what we're doing with the strategic crypto stockpile. So we'll see what happens with that. We want it to be a Bitcoin strategic reserve, but like I said, they started the committee, and what they're doing is, they're going to do some research, and they're going to figure out, come up with a plan and propose the plan, and we'll see what happens from there. But until it gets announced, like, honestly, we're probably just going to be like in this range. You know, Probably something like this. And then we're on the daily. So this is kind of the range we're respecting right now. Yeah, we got some deviation up above, but honestly, if Bitcoin, for sure, yeah. So I know I have that level pointed out. It's a key level, this green box. So for sure, if Bitcoin doesn't respect this level right here, that white line of 99.3, then we're probably going to go down a little bit further. But I mean, let's do a fib, you know. Golden pocket down here. I think I want to get out of my long trade. We got lower highs, and I want to get into a short trade. I might do a low leverage short and then just take it down. I don't know, but February is supposed to be a good month. See, I don't know what to do. We're holding above here. You know what? We came down. We bounced off the 0.5. We're up at the 382. 382 is a critical or a key level when you're in a bull run. How do we know we're in a bull run? How do we know we're in an upward momentum? We're above the 200 EMA, above the 200 smooth on the daily. Higher time frames tell us weekly we're crushing it. Monthly, not even with us right now. So, and then on the 4 hour. So the 4 hour is kind of critical for us right now. We don't want to lose the 200 EMA or the smooth MA. That would signal some bad news. What does the 8 hour say? A little bit of a downtrend curve here. Still trying to see what happens here at this level. Critical level. We lose this level, we're down here. We're down here again. We lose that level, down to the golden pocket. The 3. Holding us. The 200 holding us on the 3. The 2, we've lost it on the 2. We've lost it on the 1. Oh man, we got to get back up, right? This is so critical. Starting to come up on the 30 minute. on the 30 minutes. So it's all about the smaller time frames right now. The 15. Let's go. What is going on? We need some volume coming in. People waking up yet? People waking up yet? Who wants to catch a bottom? Come on. Wake up. Wake up, everybody. It's noon here on the East Coast. West Coast is probably waking up. They're like, oh, Bitcoin looks a little bit low. It held the level. Let's join in. Let's pile in. Timmy, order me some Bitcoin. I need some Bitcoin, Timmy. Any chats? No chats. Yes. Close. Above. Below. Been going for an hour here. Boom, boom, boom. I really want to stay on here until this thing starts pumping. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. We got to close above the 200 smooth. Above the 200 smooth. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been waiting for. Come on. We get above this 5 minute, the EMA, the 200 EMA on the 5 minute. We moving. We moving. Let's go. What's the money flow doing? Money flow getting a little curl, still below the zero line. Stochastics pointing up. MACD not showing me anything. Just flat. Money flow in the 1 minute. Just coming above the zero. Higher high. Higher lows, higher highs. Stokes pointing up. MACD, what are you telling me? MACD, okay. We got a good separation in the lines here. Okay, we got good separation. See what happens with this momentum. Could slow down a little bit. Stochastics turning a little bit. Money flow still coming, so it could turn. Stochastics could catch a wave. Looking good here. I like it. Oh, this is a critical level. Do we have it on the 5? Do we have it? It's all about the 15 right now. What are you doing to me, 15? 15, money flow spiking. Stochastics coming. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. Push it. Get up past that. Don't just sweep that little tip there. Let's go. What's happening on the 5 minute right now? Let's go. Where's Sammy Cup and Handy? He needs to see this right now. This is all him. Crypto lifer. They call him Sammy Cup and Handy. He's all about the cup and handle pattern. Sammy Cup and Handy. Just practicing. I know nobody's watching, but I'm just practicing. I like getting up to the mic real close and talking in a little bit of a deeper voice. Trying to take after Sammy Cup and Handy. I can't wait to play that back, see how that sounds. I know my show's not what he's got, but hey, look I'm just perfect. You know, done is the new perfect. Get out there, get going, get it done. That's what I'm doing here with my crazy mohawk hair thing going on. I didn't do it on purpose, just the way it turned out. A little bit of bedhead. I just gave myself a haircut yesterday. As you can see, it's a little bit jagged as I look at the corner of my eye under this light. I don't know if I can see. It's hard for me to see this one. I'm like too far away. Can't see on the other side. So it needs some work. I always go back for a second cut. You know what I mean? I go back and clean it up afterwards. I'll do a whole rotation here. You can see it. But yeah, I always got to go back. You know, you do your first buzz. Try not to F it up too bad. And then, you know, take your shower, clean up, wash your hair a little bit, get it reset, and then go back in the mirror and see what's what. Yeah, see, I can see that's terrible right there. And hopefully everything's coming out through the mic. Let me just see my stuff right now. Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good right here. Hopefully. Can I? I can't get any device in that. Boom, 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 boom. Bitcoin. Let's go, Bitcoin. Let's go. Look at that money flow. Look at that money flow spike. Let's go. Here we go. Volume coming up. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I've been sitting in this trade for way too long, though. I gotta tell you, don't do it. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. You gotta pick your spots a little bit better. I'm always a little bit too anxious. I don't want to miss the retracement, the big pump back up. I should have looked at my levels better. Should have taken my time, taken myself away. You gotta, if you're impulsive. It was an impulsive take that I did yesterday, and I took a loss. And sometimes we might need those losses just to remind us, don't get cocky. Because I was on a run. I was like having a lot of winning trades, and my P&L was looking real good, real tight. So I was like, I got cocky, and I took a trade before, and I shouldn't have. Should have waited. I tried to catch the falling knife right over here, and then it just like, kept going down to the floor. I mean, this was the floor, Obviously, like I'm looking at this double bottom right now, a little swing failure pattern going on. We're these moving averages are crunching together. We're at our levels. We held the level, double bottom. Go back to the other chart. Yeah, we're at our daily point of control, or the former daily point of control. So that level's been shown to be key. So as long as we close above, we got life. I've been holding on to this trade since yesterday, over like 24 hours. Like, yeah, I had to cancel. I did close it, but then I opened another one back up. So basically the only time I wasn't in a trade was for a little while this morning, because I closed it out, took the loss, because the chart just wasn't looking good. It just wasn't looking good. And then I started to see it turn, and I'm like, you know what? We have a chance here. I'm like, let me do it. And I'll show you where I started to see the chance, because Crypto Lifer went live this morning. Just gave me a little more confidence in what I was seeing, what I was doing. So he called out like a inverse head and shoulders here. And so we might get a nice breakout here. That's all we need, is a little bit of help. We just need a little bit of help. We broke through the trend line. Let's go. So that'll give us a nice one, That'll give us a nice one. That'll put us in profit. It'll cover our losses yesterday. Depending on what it does, I'll take profit somewhere. I'll take a little bit of profit, maybe add to it if it comes back down. But I think I gotta pull profit at some point here. All right, let's make this. I know my charts got full of stuff, but let's make it a little harder to see. Let me turn off this guy. Let me get rid of this one. That was just messing around. Let's get our volume profile. Let's do it from the bottom here, all the way over. We're on the 5 minute. So we're looking good. A little retest of this trend line, and we're this area right here. And then I think as long as we get a bounce, we're good. This area right here. All right, let's get a little retest. Oops. Let's get a little retest to that area, and then we're gone. Hopefully. Like I said, we're above. As long as we hold that level, we're above the point of control in this local range. Value area high up here. So, get a bounce, probably shoot up to here. Some sort of retracement, you know what I mean? So maybe I might put a little take profit here. That's kind of been my strategy, because like, man, I can't take these trades when they go the other way, I always like to take a little profit, put some money in your pocket, lower your risk. As the price comes back down to retest, then we can think about getting back in with more, like doubling up your bet again. But you save that gap. You put some money in your pocket, cover the fees. This is just how I've been doing it, covering your fees, and I've been seeing it add up. Instead of holding on to the trade for that home run, I always take a little bit early. Take a little bit early, chips off the table, money back in my trade wallet, and then we can let it run. We can let it run a little bit, and then you cover your loss. Then if your stop loss is somewhere around, you know, hopefully whatever loss that you have it set for, you already would have scooped enough chips off the table to kind of cover that, right? So you're almost at a break even. It almost makes it a free trade. I can show you. I'll probably show that another time. I don't think I have that situation going on right now. See, so the first thing I did wrong was I took a market bet. I took a market trade, which was high fees already. I'm scoped out. My link trade, not doing great, but everything was taking a hit yesterday. ABAX is doing good. Not great, but 5%. So I think everything's coming back up. Like I said, if we get this pump in Bitcoin, everything will rise back up. So I'm not going to add to these losing trades just yet. They're not the levels that I want to see, but if they come down to the levels, I'll get back in because this is the bull run and I'm riding these up. I decided to take like a little bit of a back seat. Sometimes I noticed that my Solana trades were doing great at low leverage and those low leverage trades are paying out. Trend out, like if you see a macro trend, it's like, man, trying to get in there with 29x leverage, not the way to go. 2x to 5x is like, it's way better. And then I can focus on like maybe a Bitcoin trade or something. I think what I've been trying to do now, I would really just like to find a keep things on a macro level, like low leverage, long macro trend type of trade. And then kind of look for what's the trade of the day, maybe, like go through the coins and try and find the trade of the day. Which one do I want to load up on the most instead of trying to do it with all of them. It's just it's not a good recipe. But Bitcoin looking good. This is Phemex. Seeing a little bit of a punch up and a curl. So we're getting close here. Come just as I spoke about it. It's coming back down. Coming back down. Are we getting the retest? 5-minute money flow still looking good. One minute money flow coming down. Double top. Coming down. Stokes are low. MACD coming down. Okay. All right, we're going to come down a little bit. The 1 minute tells us we're coming down. Stokes on the 5, taking a turn. The 1's probably going to help carry this down, so that's probably going to come down. Money flow is going to round up, if not come down. We got the MACD wavy. Coming down, though. It's turning, losing momentum. I believe those are, they call these the momentum waves, but it's a lower, that's bearish div right there. Bearish div on the MACD. These lines are separated. Probably it's run its course. The blue line's turning over. When it gets a big gap like that, that's a good sign. And you can see how we pumped. Sorry. So you can see how we pumped right here in the candle, right? We came up, and at the same point, this MACD line, the lines in the MACD crossed, and the gap got really, really big. So, we got a nice pump, but now it's curling over. Gap's going to close. Stochastic's turning down. Money flow rounding on the 5-minute. I already said the 1 minute's coming down. Let's take a look at the 15. Will the 15 save us? Doesn't look good. Well, what am I even saying? I haven't even looked yet. Stochastic's pointing straight up. Awesome. Money flow still pointing straight up. Okay, but I think like the 1 and the 5-minute are gonna pull that down a little bit. Let me So money flow is still pointing up on the 15. So finally the 15's coming through. So we'll see what's going on there. It might save us. Like I said, got to test this level. Where are we on the 30? Money flow still pointing up. Stochastics need to catch a wave. MACD, I mean, it's not rounding off yet. So we got a little bit of help. Momentum making a higher high of green. So that's on the 30. Let's let this play out. Might take a little bit. It's the 1 hour. We had some nice div right there, and as you can see, so we're letting this play out. You know, nice curve on the money flow. Stochastics, you know, still up here, sky high. It's not rounding yet, so, and we're gonna close. We still have another 30 minutes, so I think like it's all about the 30-minute right now. 30-minute and the 1 hour. This is the 2 hour money flow coming down. Stochastics starting to turn. MACD starting to close this gap. Momentum swinging on the 2 hour. See, there's always something. I really like going through all the levels to really understand what's happening with the coin right now. You know, I learned, man, I learned this just by watching all these guys. Crypto Lifer, Frankie Candles, Jason Casper. I mean, shout out to Jason Casper. He's bullishly biased all the time. So you have to take that into consideration. You know, match up with somebody. If you need to learn, find somebody that's doing the trading that you like. Oh, I like the way that this person trades. I like the way that this person lays it out. You know, and follow that person. I do prefer Frankie Candles, Jason Casper. They talk about levels, which is kind of what I'm showing you here. You can see all the lines all over my screen. And though I like the levels, it kind of gives you a better idea of what you're doing. But then you also need to go to the lower time frames and figure out what's happening. And sometimes the indicators don't tell you anything. Like, you know, you got the money flow, the stochastics, the MACD. Like sometimes these indicators aren't the best, and you can't make sense of them. And then sometimes you just have to go to the moving averages, which is, you know, tells you a lot too. And I learned, I learned a lot of that from the Crypto Lifer, because Jason Casper, I never really see use the moving averages. I mean, he will use other indicators. He uses Market Cipher B, which is a great program. You have to pay for that, and I'm not in the profits that much yet. So I'm trying to keep my expenses down on my trading game right now as I build my trading business and I learn all this. So pick who you like, you know. Who else has a good show? I like Tom Crown. Tom Crown's got a good show. I don't know, something about his voice. Like I like his voice on. I like his mic and his voice. Like it sounds good. Like he sounds like he should be on like radio. He's like a radio guy. And he wears some cool glasses. So I appreciate his show. It's pretty good. Oh, and Tom Crown, he's got some great videos on his YouTube channel. That'll teach you a lot about like market structure and trading, when to enter, how to use Lux Algo on TradingView. So that's a really good thing too. You know, check them out. Like I'm not going to steer you wrong. Oh, and then there's another way of trading that you can do too. Let's just check the 4 hour real quick. You can always do like your value trading, right? Like you low and you buy into those coins and you hold those coins, right? And we're riding that wave. We ride that wave all the way the top. So there's value investing too, just like kind of like Warren Buffett. But the guys that I follow for that are Alex Decker's one of them, and then Elio Trades. They're kind of like they have the same kind of mindset when it comes to this. They kind of, you know, they're buddies, and they partner together, and they make these big bets together. They like gaming and AI. You'll hear them talk about it. So I have my spot bags, right? Like I listen to these guys, and plus I was holding my spot bag from last bull market because I didn't understand the market and the cycle. And so I'm holding a lot of stuff, a lot of spot bags, and I'm honestly waiting for these next couple months of the market to just pop. This is what I really need. I really need the market to pop here. Let's go. I wish I had some music playing for you guys. I got music in my headphones, and it's not the same that it's not on there for you. We got any action here?